I am tired. I'm doing the thing I did last time. I don't remember if we recorded the podcast last time I returned from my work trip, but remember last time I didn't sleep for I don't know, 40 hours or something?
Oh, is that what's going on? You're going on no
Yeah.
sleep?
Oh, that's right.
Nice.
Not since 7:45 a.m. on Friday morning. That's Eastern
Oh, very
time.
good.
So yeah, we're going strong. We're going strong. I had 1 hour though. I had to get 1 hour because I was basically falling unconscious.
We'll make this nice and fast so you can have a quick nap before game night.
You still sound sick though. That's surprising, man. That's horrible that it took you that long to get over that. Must have been bad.
It has been a very long illness. Still lingering.
So your voice is off a little bit because of the illness. My voice is off because I was trying to yell over the noise during the week. Neither of us is doing very well, but we got a lot to talk about.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Okay, well, let's make it quick.
All right. Well, we'll try to make it quick. I'll blast through what I can.
All right.
First of all, regarding the boomer quiz, I know, hopefully we'll continue with at least a few more, but let me talk about the record question a little bit. So my sister confirmed that my family did have a record player before we moved to Canada, so there's that.
Okay.
And also, just in passing, as we were closing out the work week, I spoke to one of my coworkers. Apparently, he established and owns a record store in Brazil. So there's
Really?
that. Yeah, pretty successful
Oh.
too. He's even got like San Francisco operations going as well.
Ooh, nice.
So there's a big need for that, I guess, for him to be able to succeed with this.
Yeah, I think they're still pretty popular. I think, not for the least of which, there's a lot of people that just like the vintageness of it.
The story that he mentioned was he had a customer in South Africa that he shipped to, somebody who was basically very homesick for Brazil. It was a Brazilian, and the way he described it was like it was a very touching experience. It was like emotionally charged because it's like you're actually helping somebody get over being homesick with your
Through
product.
records?
With records, yeah. With Brazilian music, yeah.
Well, music will do that.
Yeah, music. Well, especially I think Brazilians have a lot of that. I think pretty much every Brazilian I've met has a they gravitate towards music a lot.
Oh,
They find a lot of meaning out of it.
I see.
It's not just for me music is kind of okay, well, yeah, I like it I guess in some ways, but it's not a big part of my life.
Right. Yeah, no, me neither. It's just there.
Background noise.
Yep. I listen to it in my car, and that's it. Sometimes I just find a song that I like and just add it to my playlist.
The new Taylor Swift song, it's
No,
always
not that.
good. Always good.
Definitely not that. Although I will say, I've been watching just clips from NBC's The Voice, and it's quite actually a good show. It's one of those shows that if I had TV or NBC's Peacock or whatever I can watch it on, I'd definitely watch that show. It's a very heartwarming, down to earth show, and the judges this season are very good.
And who are the judges?
So the veteran is Gwen Stefani, who looks like she's like 35, and she's actually 55. So whoever her cosmetologist is deserves all the money in the world.
Maybe because of all the modern technology, her face is actually like re-rendered when you're watching it. So live people will see her the real Gwen Stefani, but on TV people just see this rendered version of her.
There you go. Maybe that's it. And then next to her is one of my favorites, which makes it a very easy watch. Reba McEntire. I love Reba. Reba is my unconventional crush.
Okay.
I think everybody's got that one person that's like, there's no reason for them to be a crush because she's like 70, 75, 80. I don't know, whatever she is. But like, I just adore Reba so much. I adore Reba so much. I don't know. There's just something about her. She's got this personality, or she puts on this personality that is just very endearing. So I do like Reba. Like Reba a lot. She used to have a TV show. She's got another TV show I just found out. And then she's a great country musician. So I like that. Then we got the Canadian Michael Bublé, who's much younger than I thought he was, and I don't like his music, but whatever.
Isn't he the spokesperson for that Buble soft drink, Club
Is he?
Soda? I think so, or at least maybe that's just the hearsay.
He's pretty funny though. He's pretty funny though, but I'm not a fan of Michael Bublé's music. And then last but not least, tying it all together is Snoop Dogg.
Oh, so Snoop Dogg is one of the judges now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's another interest of his. He seems to have a lot of interests.
The guy is very versatile. He's got great personality. He's actually a very good singer. Sometimes the judges do like a little musical number at the start of the show or somewhere in the show, I don't know, whatever, where they all sing together. And Snoop Dogg is surprisingly a good, he's not just a rapper, he's surprisingly a good singer.
I saw a nice comment once in one, like just in one of the videos where he was featured, which said that Snoop Dogg has finished the main quest of his life and he's just doing side quests now.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. The guy just always seems to be doing his own thing. He's always dancing. It's like he's got a soundtrack playing in his head 24/7. All the clips that they show of him wandering around backstage and getting ready to go. He's just dancing. There's no music or anything. He's just dancing.
That's good
They showed him
stuff.
at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He was just always dancing. It's just like that's like his default movement is dancing.
It's a good way to live your life, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody has that sometimes in their life. Have a little soundtrack playing when your mood is just right. And I think he can just persist that like his whole life is like that. That's pretty awesome. We should all be more like Snoop Dogg is what we're all saying here.
It's actually probably true because he just seems to be a very chill, good guy. So overall, great coaches on The Voice this season, and it's a great premise, and it's been going a long time apparently. But I only started watching the clips on the TikToks the past couple of weeks, and I've been really enjoying it.
Only the best and worst moments is what you're seeing.
You know what? There's not a lot of like bad moments. It's not like American Idol where every once in a while they just put somebody who's absolutely terrible in there.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, because that was a big highlight of American Idol, right? You had the best and worst. And I guess The Voice maybe doesn't have as much of that.
No, all the ones I've seen, they've all been pretty good. Some more than others, but pretty good. And even if none of the judges take them on, they're still pretty good. So it's been a pretty good show, actually. It's one of those shows I wish was around, like I said, when I was watching TV, because I'd watch it. But as it stands now, I'll probably just watch the auditions, and that'll be it. That's probably mostly what the TikTok shows, just the auditions, and then once everything gets going, it probably slows down. You know, music can be good. Everybody's got the music at some level, just not like Brazilians. Well, on that note, we can do a few more here.
Yeah, let's do 5 today.
All right, here we go. So we're giving ourselves a point for for each thing you've never done, and lowest score wins. So that's the thing here. I think we're both at.
We both have a strike against us. Not boomer enough by 1.
For which one was that? That was the
boom box.
Oh yes, the boom box. That's right. Yeah. Number 11. Sent or received a fax.
Sent or received a fax.
That's right.
I have, I think, sent faxes. At least once in my life I had to send a fax. I know that when I was much younger. But I don't think I've ever received a fax. I feel like I've never had a fax machine. It's mostly just having to go somewhere to fax something.
True. Yeah, you always got to fax something.
But you said sent or received, so...
Or received. That's right. Yeah.
I'm still a boomer at this point.
So you're still a boomer, yeah. I feel like this one shouldn't be on here because...
Even now people have to do it sometimes, right?
Well, where I work, we had a fax machine probably up until just 4 or 5 years, like right before COVID and we moved and all that kind of stuff. Like we had a fax machine right up until then. And like we actively used it. Like people would send stuff and we'd have to send stuff. I was kind of surprised because I'd have to send things to like, it was the only way they accepted stuff.
That's true. Old-fashioned companies or people.
Yeah, well, not even old-fashioned companies. I was talking like, I remember having to fax stuff to like the post office to clear money and stuff like that. You know, they'd be like, oh, fax us a letter. Fax us a letter that says this.
You couldn't just email it.
Nope, fax it. They said fax it.
Wow.
I guess it's just like a really secure. I don't know.
Oh, I doubt that.
So like a lot of company, I don't know, but a lot of companies preferred it to, it was the only way to do things. Like they preferred it to email and all that kind of stuff. So
I think the system was just in place, and that's what made it simpler. Whereas, maybe they don't actually check their emails in the same way. Maybe they don't accept attachments in their email service, or
well, very often it would be like we'd be talking over email. They'd be like, "Oh, fax us." But up until recently, so I don't think faxes are that old. Even still, like when we changed phone systems and all that, we made sure we didn't end up using it much after that, but we made sure that we had a fax. Like we still technically have a fax if we needed it. Just we don't really need it anymore. I'll say the one thing with fax is that you'd be surprised about as a business. We got a lot of junk mail through fax.
they know your fax number. They're going to send you a lot of crap.
It was really weird. It was really weird because you'd like come in at the beginning of the day or you leave at the end of the day. There'd just be like 2 or 3 like just junk mail. Be like for office supplies and just things like that.
What if somebody I don't know, what if somebody just sends thousands upon thousands of faxes, and so that you have to print out thousands upon thousands of pages?
That's what happens then.
That's crazy, though. That's such a waste.
Yep, it is. But yeah, I feel like faxes are not that old. And junk mail faxes are definitely a thing, which I think most people would not expect. Anyways, number 12, recorded music from radio to cassette.
Well, we talked about this already. We talked about this during...
Did we talk about this one?
When we mentioned cassettes, we said, oh, well, have you recorded bootlegs from radio or elsewhere? Yeah.
Mixtapes.
I don't know why that's a separate question.
Because you can listen to cassettes and
That's true, yeah. It's a separate
not
thing
record.
to go above and beyond.
Recording music from radio to cassette was kind of a weird concept if you think back on it, because it's the same every once in a while, right? You get somebody who will just, to like do a YouTube video or TikTok video or whatever, will just point their phone at the TV and record whatever they're watching, right? It's not like pulling a video clip off of the website. They're taking their phone and they're recording the TV. That's the equivalent.
No, I wouldn't say it's equivalent to that, though, because another way to record would be to actually have a microphone connected to the, have the microphone be placed beside the speakers and record the radio that way. Because there you get the background noise. It looks, it sounds terrible. But if you're recording directly, so you're listening to the radio and it goes directly onto the cassette.
I don't think that's what this is talking about, though. I think this is is that what you did?
It was possible to do it that way, yeah. In the same way that you could record TV onto a VHS tape.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it's similar to that.
I didn't know that was
But
possible.
you're right. I think the most primitive way to do it would be the way that you say, where you're holding your phone up to record something. It's very similar to that if you go the primitive route. But I do think that there was a way to do it the more, let's call it lossless approach.
Okay. Well, you'll have to do your investigative journalism and
I just feel like I've done it before, yeah. So that's why I think it worked out. I've never experienced like major background noise or anything like that on recorded content.
yeah, I don't know. All right, number 13, rented a video from Blockbuster.
Oh yeah.
The good old Blockbuster video. Yeah, we did that.
Indeed. Even rented video games,
Yep.
because that was a thing. You could rent
Video games was always the
video
big one.
games.
Yep. That was always the big one for me. I remember renting one time. It wasn't Blockbuster, but like the corner store had like videos and video games you can rent.
That's right. There was independent shops that would let you rent stuff as well. I remember doing that long past Blockbuster shutting down, actually.
It's true. Actually, I think there's still a video rental store like dedicated to just video rentals, not part of the convenience store in my old town. I know they outlasted Blockbuster by like a long time. If they're not still there, they just recently closed, like maybe during COVID or something like that.
They satisfied a niche, I guess.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, I remember the video games. But anyway, so I remember going to my convenience store and they had them, and I don't know if they still have them, but I remember renting like EverQuest it was on like PlayStation 2 or something like that.
EverQuest? Like the MMO?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I remember being really disappointed because I didn't know you needed an online connection.
Yeah.
And I got home and I didn't have an online connection on my PlayStation. I had to take it back in another video game.
Oh, you know what? Another thing for I don't know if that better not be another question, but when you rent something, you got to remember to rewind it if it's a VHS tape.
Oh yeah, please be kind, rewind. That's right.
Because you had to actually rewind those tapes. You couldn't just like, it's not a DVD. It's not, doesn't just suddenly seek to where you need it to seek to.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you had to rewind them.
Or you had to pay a fee, I believe, right?
Yeah, they charged a little fee if you didn't rewind tapes. Yep. To be honest, I remember getting plenty of tapes that you had to rewind.
Oh, like when you rented something.
Yeah, they didn't track that too
They
well.
they might have charged the person, but then they never actually rewound them themselves to fix it.
That's, yeah, fair enough.
That's
Yeah,
double dipping.
that's true. Well, yeah, the good old days of the Blockbuster.
Another thing Blockbusters would have when Pokemon Snap was a big deal. I think they had those stations where you could print out
Oh, I think you're right.
photos that you've taken in Pokemon Snap. I'd never done that, but I would always see those stations. It was always tempting. Like, man, that'd be pretty sweet. You could have like Polaroids of all the Pokemon you've seen.
Yeah, I never used that either, but I don't think I ever actually owned Pokemon Snap. It's just one of those games I rented or played at a friend's house, and you just beat it in like a day.
It's like a tourist attraction, like a theme
Yeah,
park.
it's not on rails thing. I know there were a bunch of like secrets, same with the new one, but sometimes I found like a handful of secrets, and then that was the extent of my searching.
There's a new Pokemon Snap though.
There is a new Pokemon Snap. There's a Pokemon Snap on the Switch which came out, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago.
Oh wow, okay.
It looked pretty cool. A little reminiscent of the old one. Okay, number 14. Accessed the internet by dial-up.
Oh yeah, that wonderful, comforting tone
That's right.
of dial-up. I should add that in right here into the podcast so that people who haven't experienced it can experience the joys of ear-piercing pain and not being able to make a phone call while
I
using
was gonna
it.
say the big one was not using the phone. You couldn't use the phone while you were on the internet. It's not like today where you're just perpetually connected to the internet. Your family had to make sacrifices when somebody wanted to use the internet.
I mean, you didn't. Maybe this is one of the next points or whatever, next questions. But even the idea of having one phone line for the house, meaning that like if somebody picks up because again these were landlines, so all the phones are connected to the same line. If somebody picks up a phone in another room, they can hear your conversation,
Yeah, that's true.
and then they can't make another call, right? Because you only have one line. Whereas now people have cell phones, so it doesn't even matter.
The amount of times I remember picking up the phone in one of the other rooms and being like, "Get off the phone! Call somebody!" Well, in the middle of they're in the middle of their conversation. I remember doing that. Yeah, those were the days, the good old dial-up, and super slow, right? Everything was slow, and
Can you imagine trying to load up even a simple web page these days is huge compared to what it was back in the old
it's
days?
true.
Because like,
It's true.
there were few images, first of all. The images were terrible quality, so they were tiny. You would be lucky if you could download a file, like even multi-megabyte files. I don't miss those days. It's a novelty. It'd be like, you know what, if somebody had a lot of money, they could make a little theme park where they could just replicate those days from a technological perspective. So you dump your children in there and they'd be suffering for like a couple hours, just going crazy with dial-up, cassette tapes, having to rewind stuff.
You could do that and just crazy land, drop their kids off for an afternoon and just terrify the kids. That's it.
This is how things used to be.
Yep, exactly. And they would think you were like the most hard done by person in the world. And you were still miles ahead of what the generation before that was.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. They could do this. The previous generation could do the same. Just drop you into a log cabin where there's literally nothing. And it's like, oh, you got to cut your own wood and make your own fire. Whippersnapper.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Last one we'll do today. Used a phone book.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love phone books. Phone books were great for intruding on people's privacy, because now you could see there's a huge list of everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, the modern phone books are nowhere near what the old phone books were. Modern phone books are just advertising. I don't know. I've even
It's just
really.
the yellow pages now, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just like advertising businesses. Before it was like everybody was in there. You need to call somebody. You'd open it up. You'd find their name. Do they live on this? Because there'd be like 12 of them. Do they live on this street? Oh yeah, I think that's the one. Okay, call them up. Sometimes you were wrong. Call the wrong number. Oh, sorry, sir. I meant the other Joan Smith.
But just again, just imagine the fact that like your address is publicly available, your phone number is publicly available, and if you have a unique name, you're the only one.
That's right.
They can find you immediately.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
I think there were even services at some point that like delisted you from the phone book as a result of like, oh, this is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I think you could delist yourself. And they were like 600 pages. Now they're just like 50 pages.
That's true. I haven't seen one of the more modern ones. But yeah, they were huge. The whole idea of ripping a phone book in half made more sense when they were the original phone books and not these piddly ones.
Yeah, now it's like 50 pages. Oh, I'm going to rip this in half. Pff, big deal. Which is still impressive, but whatever. Yeah, back in the day, when they ripped phone books in half, they were friggin' 500 pages of beef. I wonder how much money those cost to print.
Well, we had more trees back then, so, they were more plentiful.
That's true. But, yeah, there you go. All right, well, there's the next 5.
So we're still full-on boomers, I guess, eh? No strikes against us this time.
No, we are full-on boomers.
And how do you feel about that?
I knew it. There's a lot of stuff out there I go, yeah, I'm getting old. Getting too old for this. This thing just solidifies it.
Speaking of old, I got some stuff. So I don't know if you remember, but quite a while ago, you talked about how there was this movie called The Roadhouse from the late 80s. Well, I finally watched it on the plane when I was going to Philly. I'd never seen it before. Apparently, it's a really good movie, and I liked it. Now, you said something, before I continue with that, you said something also because you said Amazon was releasing a remake.
Yes, there's a remake out now.
But I remember you saying something like, why are they doing this? Or like you had some concerns about it.
I have concerns. I thought it was f***ing stupid.
Okay. So that was basically the extent of the concerns, that you thought it was stupid. Well, guess what? Not only did I watch Roadhouse 1989, but back to back, I watched the remake as well.
Okay. All right.
And what a joy that was. First of all, the remake was quite different, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was it was a fun watch. I did. One of the complaints I have for both of the movies to start with are that they weren't as cathartic as I would have liked. So I'm a fan of things like John Wick, where, the bad guys get payback, And even though I guess that happens, it's not, you don't feel like, they didn't stomp them hard enough, that type of thing. And Patrick Swayze in the original, I would say he wasn't nearly as badass as he was built up to be. Because, he was this mythical figure, but in the end, I mean, he kind of got saved by everybody in the neighborhood.
Right.
So from that point of view, I thought that Jake Gyllenhaal did an excellent job in the remake, and I liked his arc better. He had a whole thing about being very kind-hearted for the most part, but the thing about, like, when he was pushed too far, he became unstoppable. And again, that only really happened in at the very end, kind of. But I like that about it.
I hate that. No, I hate that, though. I can't. You're not gonna just fucking turn it on. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not something that happens. You don't just go fucking Super Saiyan in real life.
Well, yeah, but like, that's what this movie is about. That was the whole point.
But it wasn't really. I think that was the thing with the original Roadhouse, is that wasn't really what the movie was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be this John Wick.
He wasn't supposed to be John Wick. He wasn't supposed to be super
No, it wasn't supposed to be this
powered.
big. It was supposed to be real. It was supposed to be like just this guy who's defending a bar, defending himself, whatever, in just this more real, campy way. And I think that's where the Jake Gyllenhaal movie fell off, was because it was like, I can only say from what I heard, because I didn't watch it, like from the previews and all that, it was like way fucking over the top from everything they showed. and it was like this is not Roadhouse.
No, it was over the top. It was very campy, though. Like, you could not take that movie seriously. One of the first scenes is when he's defending this restaurant, because it's slightly different, the setup. But he's defending this restaurant. He takes the guys outside. First of all, he warns them. He asks them. This was the hilarious part. He kept asking them, "You guys have health insurance, right?" He kept reiterating that you're going to get very hurt right now. He was warning them multiple times. He takes them out, and then he asks the owner of the restaurant, "Can I borrow your car? I need to take these guys to the hospital." So he loads them up into the minivan, and they're just driving to the hospital.
That's so bad, though.
Yeah, but
and honestly, I'm
hilarious,
not
man.
fair enough. Fair enough. I guess it depends on what you want to get out of it. And to be fair, the original Roadhouse isn't this. Like, it's not a hugely popular, it's not a hugely popular movie. It's more like a cult classic.
Yeah, I've read that since then, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. And I don't, not that Patrick Swayze is the most realistic tough guy, but even from what you just said, and it lines up with what a lot of the advertisements were for the remake, like, I don't know. I can't take Jake Gyllenhaal as that kind of person.
Well, first of all, he I don't know. I mean, he definitely beefed up because he's built in this movie. I mean, he's supposed to be a UFC champion. That was the shtick. It wasn't just Patrick Swayze's setup where he just knows karate, I guess, martial arts.
Yep.
Jake Gyllenhaal is actually like a UFC champion. That what happened was he ended up killing his opponent in the ring, inadvertently. And that was his, because with Patrick Swayze, he was, through self-defense, he killed somebody.
Right.
Whereas this one was just in the ring. And he wasn't like a bouncer or anything, Jake Gyllenhaal. He was actually like just earning money by doing bar fights.
Yeah, because that's the natural progression. You go from killing somebody in the UFC and feeling super guilty about it, just fucking thrashing on people in random bars.
No. But the way he does it, he doesn't actually fight anybody. He goes into the ring, he takes off his hood, and people see who he is, and then they give up, and he wins the money. That was his scam. That was the way he did it. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It was pretty funny, actually. It was like, he wasn't having a good life, and that's why he ended up doing this. So another thing is, in light of the UFC stuff, Conor McGregor is actually one of the villains. So that was interesting to see. He definitely plays that over the top.
Yeah, that was one of the complaints I heard about that.
Honestly, though, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's as artistic as the original Roadhouse, but it's definitely a good watch. I don't know if people were that hard on it, but I had a fun time.
All right, there you go. There's your soft recommend from Raji.
Well,
because Raji recommends... No, because you recommend everything except for Bridesmaids.
I mean, I maybe I was a bit too hard on Bridesmaids.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, I guess we can do our review now.
That's right. Did you watch Abduction?
Abduction.
2011.
I was looking last night. I was trying to find... I was like, what the movie am I supposed to watch? Couldn't find the bloody note, but I found it. I just had it scribbled in a corner on a piece of paper. I was like, I wonder if this is it. And I was like, oh yeah, now I remember. Abduction with Taylor Lautner.
The guy from Twilight.
What a bad movie.
Oh, you didn't like the movie?
Oh, I hated the movie.
Oh man, it was such a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Wasn't.
It was good.
No,
it was a good time.
Taylor Lautner, first of all, let's talk about Taylor Lautner, is not a leading man ever. He can't do it. He doesn't have the look for it. He doesn't have the acting capabilities to pull it off. The best I could ever see, I never watched him I never saw Twilight. So I can't speak to how he was there, although I can't imagine Twilight being a cinematic masterpiece.
Whoa, now,
come on. Prove me wrong.
So many people adore those films.
Well, there's a lot of stupid people in the world. But Taylor Lautner, at best, I could only ever take him seriously playing some second-rate villain. That's it. That's what he looks like. That's what he acts like. That's about the extent of his acting. I could never see him. Like, I remember, okay, just in this movie, when they first introduced the girl, when he was at the frat party, and the girl walks in the scene, and he looks at her. He's supposed to be smitten or whatever by her. It just looked like he was going to go beat her face in. That was
Well,
the extent.
yeah.
That was the extent of his expressions. No matter what, he just looked like he was gonna beat the shit out of whoever he was looking at.
He does have a villainous face. You're right.
And he wasn't able to emote it to be like, oh yeah, I like her. I mean, obviously, you got it from the context of the film, but there was never any like, oh yeah, this guy's, really feeling it with her, but he wasn't good. But then beyond that, it was okay. So that was Taylor Lautner. The rest of the cast was, fine. The rest of the movie was just cliche after cliche. That's all it was.
Hold on. I will say I like that the main character didn't turn out to be a super spy that just hadn't woken up yet.
Yeah.
Because, like in a lot of these spy movies, like Bourne Identity or American Ultra, the main character will end up being this super-powered tough guy. And even though, the main character in this film was, he was tough, but he was tough from just, training with his dad, right?
Which is wild because let's be honest.
Oh yeah, they beat the crap of each other at the first. It was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah,
so good.
And like the words the dad was using didn't make any fucking sense. Like he's fighting the boy and he's like, you're gonna have to protect yourself. You don't know when they're coming. And I'm just thinking like, the fuck are you talking about, guy? Like, why is the boy not questioning any of this?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's used to being abused. I don't know. Who knows?
Whatever. But he was talking like people were coming for him. Like during that entire fight, he was talking like people were coming, which they were.
Yeah.
But it was like, why are you saying this to your son? And why is the son not even questioning the words coming out of your mouth? The son's just sitting there. Taylor Lautner's just sitting there throwing fucking flying roundhouse kicks. Like he's supposed to be like 17 or 18 years old or whatever. He's throwing fucking flying roundhouse kicks at his dad, doing a kip up.
It's good stuff.
It was so bad. It was so bad. And then when the first group of assassins comes and he gets them down, first of all, he beats the fucking assassins, right? This 18-year-old kid who's never held a gun in his life. By the way, the guns were the worst friggin'.
They were silenced. They were silenced pistols.
Yeah, but they weren't good silenced pistols because first of all, you hear it in the movies all the time. That's not what silenced pistols sound like. But this one, they cranked it to friggin' 11, where I honestly thought they just shot him with tranq darts.
I did too
until
at first,
until they killed the dad, I honestly thought they were shooting tranq darts because the sound was, not only was it bad for silenced pistol, not only was it, like every other movie, not what a silenced pistol sounds like. It was like the worst sounding gun I've ever heard in my life. But then, anyways, so somehow he beats two fucking trained Russian assassins. By the way, that's the other cliche. Oh, of course, the bad guy is fucking hardcore Russian. And of course, he's got this big lumbering fucking Russian second guy with glasses who just looks so cool and collected as he fucking moves around and they just track him so easily. But whatever. So he gets the two fucking assassins down. The assassin goes, "There's a bomb in the oven." Yeah. I was like, what?
I don't know why he told him. I don't understand why.
Okay, let's consider, why was there a bomb in the oven?
Well, they wanted to clean up after themselves.
Oven bomb?
Yeah, they wanted to clean up. they were cooking something. Come on.
Just randomly an oven bomb. Like
I thought that was a fine masterpiece. That was cinematic masterpiece right there. The oven bomb. That they actually put the bomb in the oven deliberately, carefully, and they even arranged it so that it looks like it's roasting something.
Yeah.
Those are considered assassins,
And then they were just able to, both the good guy, both the CIA and the bad guys were able to track them so easily. Didn't matter where in the fucking country they were. They picked up a fucking phone and they were like, "There he is, man. Get on the phone with him and just fucking listen."
Well,
hold on. Didn't matter where.
I did like how at the beginning of the movie, you didn't really know who to trust and who was actually working together maybe or what was going on. I like that. I like that they kept that relatively opaque for at least a little bit.
Well, you're right. There was a sense like, okay, well, I got to watch this to see what the is going on because I had no idea.
Exactly. Yeah, you see?
But it was not in a good way. No, I was like, they're going to this up somehow. And sure enough, they did. They didn't explain what the list was. They didn't explain why the CIA guy was on it, that he was he was just a random, kind of not even a bad guy, but his name was just on the list. So he had selfish motives. And it was whatever. And even at the end, they never showed the real dad.
Yeah, they're leading into a sequel that never came.
There's not gonna be a sequel to this.
Well, that's the problem. It didn't do well enough. We didn't support the movie early enough in
To
its life
nobody's
cycle.
surprise, there's not going to be a sequel to this.
Yeah, it's too bad. They could have tied up all the loose ends. What happened to Alfred Molina, for example? Right? I mean, did he just get reprimanded by having his salary docked or something? Maybe he was taking bribes, and that was the reason he was on the list.
You don't even know what the fucking list was, and then randomly just has the list because he stole his fucking dad's phone out of his apartment. This fucking super spy, 2 teenagers break into the super spy's apartment, steals all his secret fucking high-end CIA information that the fucking Russians, who can track anybody with no effort whatsoever.
Well, no, the reason why they messed it up, like they were supposed to just sit at the hideout there at his father's place. They were just supposed to sit there.
Okay, but it doesn't.
But the problem
it doesn't matter.
is,
He had the names on a fucking flip phone.
Yeah. Well, this is 2011.
Sitting
It's
in
the flip phone decade.
Sitting in plain sight in his apartment, where the Russians have been tracking him down for 18 years, and these 2 teenagers just fucking find it and grab it, and then the fucking kid knows exactly what it is.
Oh, he's insightful.
Like you said, oh, the kid wasn't a super spy. The kid was in every way, shape, and form a super spy, other than he had the designation.
Nah, come on.
Because he was throwing fucking flying spin kicks. He was jumping out of cars. He was
so
avoiding
was the girlfriend.
explosions.
I mean, the girlfriend was jumping out of the car alongside him. She did a really good job keeping up with the super spy.
She did do a really good job keeping up with like this.
Hold on. She was tied in the train cabin. She broke a glass, and she used the shards of glass to cut herself free. I would not be able to do that. I would probably injure myself badly enough.
Nobody would be able to do that.
Man, she's really the leading role there. Like, she's the star.
And then they go to the baseball game at the end, and they just
That
act
was a nice touch. I like that.
the Russian's just sitting there talking about baseball. He's like, I don't get it, but I like the popcorn.
Exactly. You know what? That spoke to me personally. I would not understand what was going on either. And maybe that was, you know what? That was a metaphor for the movie.
I don't understand how they got the gun into the baseball. I don't understand how the teenagers got the gun into the baseball arena.
He shoved it up his ass,
No, it was under the seat. How the was it under the seat? What teenager's doing that? The one that does the fake IDs? Yeah, okay.
Oh, I thought he managed to sneak it in, in his keister. I actually thought that, but okay, fair enough.
In his what?
In his keister.
Yeah, there you go.
What else would you do?
I don't know, because they were checking them. Even the Russian didn't get through the fucking baseball stadium with weapons. So, but the teenagers, they were able to strap a fucking gun under the exact chair they needed to strap it under.
Those teenagers, it's always like that with teenagers. They get by.
This was such a bad movie. It was such a bad movie.
But come on, it was entertaining. You enjoyed it.
It wasn't even that entertaining. The best, like I said, the only reason I kept watching it is because I was playing Trading Card Simulator while I was watching it, so I could distract myself with that.
So you probably missed some details, some key points.
I didn't miss any detail. I promise you I didn't miss any details. Like, the action wasn't any good. It didn't make any fucking sense. It was cliche as everything. The main actor was garbage.
The action did seem a little bit, it looked different. It didn't look real in some cases. I will hand it to the movie for that. And one of the things regarding the cinematography is whoever did the cinematography must be a big fan of dolly zooms, which is where, when they show a close-up of the face and the camera zooms such that the face stays, but everything behind the face zooms out.
Oh, okay.
That's called a dolly zoom, and every single time they had a close-up of a face, they did it. It was like clockwork. I would see it. Oh, there it is. Next one. Yep, there it is. The only times they didn't have it are for the romantic moments, and God forbid.
The one awkward romantic moment. Why didn't you ask me out when we were kids? Oh, I don't know. I was an awkward teenager. Never mind, I got big bulging muscles and a face every girl would love. I'm an awkward teenager.
Yeah, isn't that how it always goes?
F me now, buddy. Like, okay, on this train. And then they were awkward afterwards. They were like, oh, I'll what did they say when he left? He was like, oh, I'll wrap a ribbon around the door. So I don't remember what he said. And I was like, why? You guys just practically dry f***ed, and now you're being all awkward again? Like,
yeah, I mean, they're teenagers. Come on. It's just teenage hormones right there. They have no idea what they're doing. I thought it was a well done movie. I recommend it.
This is
If
why
you're a
I
fan
can't
of
take you seriously about Roadhouse.
So one last thing I'll say is this movie had a flavor of Spy Kids. Now, I don't like Spy Kids, but I enjoyed this movie. So it's already a little bit, it's a positive. I'm not a fan of the Spy Kids films, but this one, if you like something like Spy Kids, but want something where it's not kids, but teenagers instead, you'll love this movie.
How is this like Spy Kids? What the
Well, it's, same idea. Like the parents are super spies or whatever. And the kids end up being somewhat super spies.
So Spy Kids in the most superficial way possible.
Yes.
But absolutely nothing else is like Spy Kids.
I don't know. What else is Spy Kids if not that?
It's a nice lighthearted comedy.
I wouldn't say it's lighthearted.
It is definitely lighthearted. I love Spy Kids.
This was a comedy too.
This was not a comedy.
Yeah, it
You
was.
need to go check you need to go. I laughed a lot, but not because it was supposed to be, not because it was a comedy.
I don't know. I thought it was a comedy. Was it not?
It was not a comedy, Raji. All right, let's play King of the Hill. Rough Night or Abduction?
Yeah, this was a challenge for me to come up with, but I think I'm gonna go with Rough Night. But just barely. I think Abduction was very close to topping it. But you know what? It's like there's things in Rough Night that remember how I said, would I want to rewatch a movie? I'm more likely to want to rewatch Rough Night. It just had that joyous charm to it.
Not only will I never watch Abduction again, I'll never watch something that stars Taylor Lautner again.
Whoa, now come on! If we hit Twilight, we have to watch it.
I will never watch something that stars.
We have to
Taylor
watch that.
Lautner
That's
again.
his.
Well, you're
magnum
right.
opus.
I guess if something pops up that he's starring again, if there's enough movies out there that star Taylor Lautner because they didn't learn their fucking lesson from Abduction, that we have any realistic chance of pulling a single one of them, I guess I will watch it, but I will never willingly watch a Taylor Lautner.
Can you imagine if the next movie you pull actually stars him again? He's going to be the new romantic comedy. Instead of romantic comedies, there's going to be Taylor Lautner films.
All right, so you got Rough Night. I'm going to stick with Bridesmaids. And there we go. All right, let's find out where our next movie is. It's my turn to pull, so here we go. After you pulled that amazing Abduction, you should have your pull privileges revoked.
It's all random. I'm not spiking the vote or anything.
Pump Up the Volume. Pump Up the Volume, a 1990 American coming-of-age teenage drama film with Christian Slater.
Oh, okay. This is going to be good.
Oh, this is going to be another awful fucking movie. Christian Slater is amusing, but not in any serious way. Generally positive reviews.
It's about pirate radio. That's cool. This is going to be good. This is going to be really good.
Christian Slater's in it. Who else is in it? I don't know any of these names. Samantha Mathis? Oh, she was in the original Super Mario Brothers. Mimi Kennedy? I don't know who that is. Ahmet Zappa? I don't know who he is, but he's
related to Frank Zappa, probably.
Third of 4 children born.
To Frank Zappa. There you go.
Oh, Seth Green is in it. A young Seth Green. Okay.
As Joey. So he's going to be a comedic relief.
Ellen Green. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true. He's playing somebody named Joey. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That was a requirement in the 90s films. If you have a character that needs to be comedic relief, he has to be named Joey.
Well, we will see. Pump Up the Volume.
It's a different genre as well. Like we're diversifying now.
That is true. We watched an action last week. We watched we've had a lot of rom-coms, but we also had Gran Torino, and now we're going to a coming-of-age film about pirate radio. All right, word of the fortnight.
The word of the fortnight today is waif. W-A-I-F. It's a noun. It's not pronounced wife, so it's not that. So what this means is it's an extremely thin and usually young woman. Another definition, though, is a piece of property found but unclaimed. So like, for example, if somebody robs a place and they end up dropping some stuff as they're robbing the place, and they leave it behind. That's waif. This word is also related to phrases like to waive one's rights and to waive a fee.
Okay. Why did you choose that word?
I read it in the Berserk manga. I just thought, what the hell is this? I thought it was wife at first, like waifu,
Right.
but it wasn't. I guess makes sense as well because you wouldn't expect waifu in a serious manga.
Well, there you go. Waif is our word of the fortnight. So for all you waifs out there,
Keep on waifing.
all right, it's Pokemon's time. Unless you got something else, because we're still under an hour here, so this is going to be a shorter.
We can talk a little bit about how I blocked YouTube and Reddit on my computers.
What?
I did, yeah.
Wait, you use YouTube?
Yeah, I do, but you can still access it if you open a private window and stuff and blah blah blah. But even just the act of preventing me from just going to the web page normally, it made me way more productive. Because I was wasting way too much time on Reddit. I would just go there just for the fun of it. Let's see what's popular today. And then just spend 30 minutes just scrolling through like an idiot. I had to stop. And YouTube was also bad because it's let's go see. I have some downtime. Oh, let's go watch a video. And then you end up watching multiple videos. And I don't like doing that. So I wanted to get back on track. It worked, though. It definitely helped me out, so...
Was it just a temporary thing, or are you still?
I'm still doing it, but we'll see. I'll decide because it's not like I was always addicted to these things, so maybe I'll undo that. But props to I think it's called Leech Block. It's a Firefox plugin, add-on, whatever you want to call it. It works really well.
I'm not blocking that stuff.
Yeah, it's personal. It's all personal. It's like it's like drinking. I don't buy alcohol, so I don't end up drinking it.
Plus, I use Reddit to get, stay up to date a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
I like to keep my news feeds.
I read newspapers, I'll get some newspapers delivered to me.
Do you actually, though?
No, but just imagine. Just imagine if that was a boomer question? Have you ever read newspapers?
No, newspapers are still out there, still popular. Yeah, I couldn't get rid of Reddit. That's where I read my stuff. Although I'll go on news sites sometimes, but... just easier to go on Reddit because it just throws it in there amongst all the...
You want the objective view of the Redditors, not the subjective view of all the news outlets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want to read it through all the expert Redditors who definitely know what they're talking about and are not biased in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. They say they're not biased, so you can trust them.
That's right. Nobody lies on the internet. No, but I mean, they post the stuff, right? It's not supposed to be editorialized when they post something, so...
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just poking fun.
You just gotta take the comments with a grain of salt, that's all.
That's where the best part is, though. That's where the magic happens, is the comments.
Sometimes I just get so angry at the comments. It's like the Twitter issue, where it just pisses me off so much what some people say.
And then you end up getting banned from replying to them.
No, well, that was only once. After that, I've learned not to call people names. I just infer it. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch the TikToks.
That's your vice.
Just scroll through the TikToks. I mean, I get it. I can definitely sit there on TikTok and then all of a sudden, half an hour's gone.
You keep up to date with your voice.
That's right. I gotta watch my voice.
So,
yeah.
It's the same as if you were watching these full episodes on TV. Half an hour there, doesn't matter.
It's true. I may as well just watch voice clips. Then I don't have to deal with all the crap. NBC can tell me what I like. But, yeah, I liked watching The Voice, and then sometimes comedians. Comedians show up on my thing. And then cat videos. A lot of cat videos on TikTok.
Not as many dog videos, though. You must be a cat person.
You know what? There's really... I don't know. It's just maybe because I'm on the cat side of TikTok, right? But I was watching last night, and I was like, man, this is like the fucking 16th cat video in a row. Where the hell are the dog videos? But everybody likes the cats, I guess.
It probably does know based on, you seem to gravitate towards cats, even a little bit, and then it ends up giving you way more cat videos.
I always find the algorithms on these things really annoying because, it'll show something in my feed, and if I watch it all the way through, it'll just start showing me that. And it's just okay, you showed this to me. You can't say this is what I'm interested in. You can't change my entire algorithm based on what you showed me on the fucking title page, all because I just watched it. You wanted me to watch it, but I don't want to watch fucking 12 of them.
Yeah, there's not... They don't embed any sort of variety. They have to inject something different sometimes. Otherwise, yeah, it just keeps becoming homogenous. You're better off, logging out and starting a random session.
Yeah.
If you want to see more variety. I think YouTube has the same problem.
Yeah, YouTube has the same problem. Where if you watch one video on YouTube, that's what your entire fucking homepage is forever. Instagram's the same. Like, they're all the same way. The algorithm, I don't know. The algorithms are not, like, people will argue about this, but I find that the algorithms are not good on these programs still.
I mean, they give you comfort. Like, if you're somebody who's just looking for the comfort and you want to see the same stuff over and over again and you feel good about that, then it works really well. Because you're never going to see stuff that'll, like, make you think or cause concern.
No, because, again, the issue is, like, okay, yeah, if you watch something enough, it's going to keep showing you that. But the issue is when you watch, like, one of something, and then that's all it shows you. And then like I said, the worst part with TikTok is, like, that's how most people scroll. Like, they're not going around looking at random videos. They just watch whatever's on their homepage. TikTok is feeding that to you and then, like, just giving you more of it for some random reason. Like, oh, this is in your algorithm. You must like it. You must like it. No, motherfucker, you put it in my algorithm.
No, but I think if you scroll through it really quickly, then it won't put more. So, like, it'll try to give you more.
But that's the thing, is you have to scroll through it really quickly. Like, if you just sit there and watch it and go, oh, I wonder what this is, it still picks it up as part of the algorithm. And it's like, I don't want to watch. I just watched this for a second because I didn't know what it was. But now I know what it was. I don't really care about it. But here's 12 more. I'll tell you one thing that's happened to me, and this is going to be controversial to say it on here, is this happens with, like, trans rights things, where it'll show a trans rights video to me or trans whatever, and I'll watch it because I don't know what it is. And then I have to go through friggin' a half an hour of friggin' trans videos saying not interested, not interested, not interested, not interested, until the friggin' algorithm understands not interested. And it's happened more than once. And that's, like, on the extreme end of things. But it's just like, I never watched anything that would make the program think that I'm interested in this, other than the fucking one video they showed me. I hate seeing them because I'm like, oh God, here we go. You see it once and it's like, oh, here we go. Half an hour of saying not interested to the same videos over and over again.
You gotta do the opposite. You gotta find the anti-trans videos. Watch a couple of those. That'll balance it out.
Yeah, exactly.
TikTok won't know what to do.
Yeah.
Wait, is he for or against? And then suddenly,
I don't know.
Let's give him more cat videos. That'll shut him up.
It's the same with, like, friggin' right-wing videos. Like,
yeah, that happens often.
They'll show, like, a clip of Donald Trump talking or something. All of a sudden, I'm going to be on this side of TikTok that's like everybody that just supports Donald Trump, and it's just like, I don't want to be around these idiots.
MAGA this, MAGA that. The worst thing is you don't know sometimes if it's a parody of him talking or if it's actually him talking, because it's
true.
Usually almost the exact same thing.
Yep. I don't know. I find, like, the algorithm is not that good. YouTube is the exact same way. You watch one video, your entire homepage is that video. Like, I don't know. The algorithm is not good.
And you wonder why I block these things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, you know what? Another reason why I blocked YouTube specifically is because after I'm done my day, sometimes I'll put on YouTube thinking like, oh, I'll just watch a little bit, and then I'll watch something that I should be watching. Like, I have a backlog of movies I want to watch, TV shows, whatever. And then I end up watching YouTube instead. So as a way to, like, again, cut that down, limit that, and just actually get back on track and watch the things that I should be watching, which I actually enjoy, is just like, that simplicity of like, oh, well, I don't want to pick the next movie or whatever, so let's just go to YouTube. To cut that down, I add this impediment. And that it does work. It does work.
I don't know. If I have 20 minutes or half an hour, I don't really want to watch a movie anyways, right?
No, but like, this is actually like, if I do have an hour and a half, I'll end up, I did waste hour and a half blocks sometimes on YouTube. I've done that before.
If I have that much time, I'm not going to, YouTube's not the place, YouTube, TikTok, those aren't the places I go to.
Well, see, so you're already more disciplined for that than I am.
I have my blocks where it's like, oh, I got this much time. Oh, I'm going to do this. It's like last night watching that movie.
Abduction, right? Look at that. That was way better than YouTube.
I was like, oh, I got 2 hours before I got to stream. I'm going to watch the movie. I was like, oh yeah, I got to watch the movie. So I'm going to go watch the movie. First thing on my mind isn't like, oh, I'm going to go to YouTube or whatever. Or if I got an hour, I'll be like, oh, I'll watch an episode of Hell's Kitchen or something like that.
That's a sound mind right there. We can only hope to be as disciplined as you.
I'm not disciplined. I'm not saying I'm disciplined, but I'm just saying, like, I don't naturally gravitate towards that stuff if the time blocked is more than that.
Yeah, but see, that's discipline. That's more discipline than most people, including myself.
Anyways, now we've wasted enough time that we can do Pokemon. Do 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 do. All right, here we go. We are judging Pokemon sounds, Pokemon cries. So our 29th battle is between Pokemon 38 and 91. We don't know who these Pokemon are. We're going to spend a day revealing it at the end of the tournament. Who's what. And yeah, so anyways, here we go. Number 38.
It's like a Pokemon being electrocuted.
Kind of is. Deeper voiced Pokemon being electrocuted. All right, and 91.
Oh, that's nice. Like a water droplet in a crystal cave.
It kind of was, because it was just like a really hard...
I kind of like it, though. It's melodic. It's really melodic.
That's what the gunshots sounded like in Abduction.
Well, no,
without
not
the
as
crystallized
melodic.
sound behind. Without the crystallized behind.
Oh yeah, that
crystallized
first
sound
note.
behind it.
Absolutely, I
Yeah,
agree.
that very first note.
Try to play it, but pause it before it does the reverb.
That's not gonna happen. This is a 1 second clip. I'm not gonna do. That's not gonna.
Come on,
happen.
try it. Try it.
Here we go. Ready? Here we go.
Oh, almost.
Oh wait.
Almost.
Wait.
Yep.
Yeah, like
It's
that.
exactly it.
Right there. Yeah.
Good sound. Good sound.
That's what the gunshots sound like in Abduction. Yeah. All right. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna go with 91.
I agree. I like that one.
In honor of Abduction.
Well, maybe I'll vote for the other one now. All right. Here we go. Number 30. Between 54 and 75. Here's 54. Sounds like something splashing in the water.
It's having fun, yeah.
And 75?
Oh, it's another one of those crystalline ones.
Yeah.
It's basically a bird in a crystal cave. No, I like the first one. At least it's somewhat different.
Yeah, it's got the splashing. That definitely is not part of its mimicry, so it shouldn't be there, but...
Maybe the Pokemon's made of water and it's something splashing inside of it.
Could be. That could be. It could be it just jiggling around.
Yeah, it's like it's filled with water. So it's like it's shaking its stomach. It's like a bloated Pokemon.
Well, there we go. All right, 54 is moving on. All right, 31 between 43 and 86. It's kind of electric, just a little bit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And 86.
Well, that's
Big
just a
deep
very
growl.
deep roar. I don't know. We'll play the first one again.
Neither of these are very good. All right, here we go. 43.
It's not bad. I don't know. I mean, the second one's not bad either.
They're not bad, but they're not good. They're very generic.
I'll probably go with the first one.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the first one.
Got a little bit more depth. It's hard to make out the roar in the second one. It's there, but it's like it's very whatever this background noise is. It's like, it's a steam engine or something happening in front of the roar.
It's almost like it's roaring with its mouth closed.
Maybe it tried to open it and then it closed it immediately.
Yeah, there you go. But that one's kind of got a...
It's like it's supposed to continue, but it doesn't, that first one.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, all right. We're going to move 43 on. All right. 33. Between 1 and 65.
This is apparently already round 2 then. Yeah. According to...
Oh, is this round 2?
Yeah, according to
Oh, yeah, because I guess the 60 would be everything that we have queued up, but that's not necessarily the...
But it has buys. So it has like 1, for example, is a buy Pokemon.
Oh, these numbers aren't in order. It goes from 31 to 33 and then 32's after that.
Yeah. I don't know why, but that's how it is in the actual tournament.
Oh, okay.
So 33 is indeed the next one.
We're doing 33. We're skipping 32 for now. That'll be on the next episode. We're doing 33. So this is round 2. Is this where round 2 started?
Correct. Yes, this is the first
Or was the
round
last
2.
one?
No. This is the first one.
All right, here we go, guys. This is actually round 2. So we made it through round 1. Exciting. Here we go. 33 between 1 and 65. So these sounds should be maybe a little bit better, accepting the buys, which are still random. That one just sounds like he's underwater.
Or in a snowstorm. I like to think that that's a bird in the snowstorm.
In a snowstorm? Would a snowstorm like muffle you like that? I feel like that's a water.
If it's a really heavy one. But yeah, you're right. It could be underwater. Although I wouldn't think that the high-pitched noise would come through that way.
Maybe. All right, 65. Okay.
I still like 65. We've heard 65 before. This is one that was this was the very first winner.
right. You're voting for 65?
Yeah, I don't know. I like it.
I'm voting for 1.
All right.
So,
What's the tiebreaker again? Because we haven't had many of these.
no, we haven't. I think it's only our second or third one at the most. So our tiebreaker is we are going to give a number we're going to give a ratio of our preference between 1 and 65. So you're going to give each one a score. They have to add up to 100, and whoever has the highest score wins.
And I think we said as long as one of us is, they end with an odd number or an
That's
even
right.
number.
All right, you want odds or evens?
I'll go odds.
All right, I'll go evens. All right, here we go.
And we just have to pick one of them, right? Like, because then we just do a subtraction for the other one.
Yeah, that's all. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
What did you give to 65?
I mean, I gave one 41.
41.
It's very
Okay.
close. I didn't have too much preference.
So I gave it a 62.
All right. So, you also didn't have that much preference.
Nope.
The 41 and 62, that's what, 103? I'm just going to record it like that. Versus 97, I guess.
Yeah. So number 1's going through.
All right. The bye is the winner. I mean, it has a charm to it, yeah. Whether it's underwater or in a blizzard, I think it works, yeah.
I could see this being...
Articuno?
No.
It could be Articuno.
Kyogre. Kyogre.
Ah,
I see that
okay.
being Kyogre.
Seems a bit too high-pitched for Kyogre.
It might be. But again, like I said, I'm picturing underwater, so that's where I'm deriving that from. Well, there we go. We're in the second round now. Ooh, that's exciting. So the sounds should be getting less generic based on what we voted on.
There are still quite a few buys, but I think
that's fair. Yeah.
ultimately this round is going to be... Well, actually, this round is about the same length as the previous one. But...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, we'll get through it. It's going to be fun.
That's right. We got all season. It's only October. We got till June.
Plenty of random movies to watch. Hopefully without Taylor Lautner. Plenty of Pokemon cries to listen to.
That's right. We got lots going on. Stay tuned to our next episode and have a happy Halloween.
Oh, that's right. This was the Halloween episode. Oh, well, we didn't talk about anything.
I don't know. I was scared from the Taylor Lautner talks.
He does have a scary
from
face.
the abduction talks. That is, yeah, he does have a scary face. See, there you go. Boo. Boo. Happy Halloween.